if I had to, and someone said, "Oh, this guy Gib, he confuses people." Well, you know what? Here's 3 hours of me.
This way?
Yep. Hour 3. Can you believe it? It's the same day. It's March 4th, but now it's 90 days later. Perspective. Our country, I should say, has just completely dissed all of our allies and just made buddies with our enemies. This is Hot Roll. This is Soundgarden. I don't know what this song... I need a name for this show. Please send it in. For now, this is No Name Show. And I'm Safety Patroller 325 Gib on the mountains, the slopes of Hour 3 of March 4th. Groundhog Day, we're just looking for ways that we can be helpful, ways that we can help people, and, meet some friends along the way. What's crazy is that, this all started because I'm having a baby. And you know what? I had the baby. And I want to tell you all about it. And I think, where'd we leave off? We left off at breastfeeding. Ah, yes. Breastfeeding. The room was dimly lit. Our supermodel nurse, Kat, was caressing my wife's breast, trying to get those small ounces of white gold out. With silk tape, she taped this tiny little feeding tube onto her supple breasts. She asked if I could join in, and well, sure. Why not? That's the show. I guess I gotta go. Actually, no, that is the ending music, but let's go help this lady.
It's really precarious, though, huh?
I'm helping somebody up these weird snowy stairs. And, there's this gate, and it's for employees. There's a big sign.
Oh, but you're not authorized personnel.
I'm with an authorized.
I'm just kidding.
Not a good joke. Almost edited this whole thing out. But, what are you going to do? We are just in this strange day and age where at this hospital they didn't allow bottles and they didn't allow binkies. And there was just some weirdness about that. And so when we needed to supplement, we had to have this whole tube connected to this weird thing that would drip and
Switching to sunglasses.
all taped on and then sort of
why not?
taped in such a way that it would, be attached to the breast. But, please, it was crazy. And no time in the history of humankind has this contraption ever been used before. But trust me, the bottle,
Other
a
places
binky,
that are where
a
people don't
dad's
talk about.
thumb to suck on, those things have been around since, humankind. All is well at Legacy Lodge. So, yeah, getting on the lift here. Oh, that lady at the stairs, that's just it. We're in that sort of gray area of confusing nice and trying to be funny and, relevant to their epic, adventure. A relevant character, is part of that. And to just interject something, there's a risk there, right? In the end, we're just making relationships with the crowd. It's crowd control. And if I have some rapport with her now, maybe if I ask her to slow down or something, or maybe she'll just think twice before disrespecting another skier or the resort, and then therefore not go home in a toboggan on a day like today, because that just leads to problems. Right? God, so easy. But did we know that stuff? Respect for others? I feel humbled. Now, I gotta say, very humbled at seeing the experience that women go through with pregnancy. Men and women, really, but women, and the stupid things that people say to women while they're pregnant to try and up their spirits. And it just... they just don't know. People, and it's not even pregnant. We just don't even know if that person next to us in traffic is on their way or back from a disappointing visit, on their way to possibly. we just go around and pretend like we're not part of one of the most greatest things on Earth. We're on a planet, flying around a galaxy for some crazy reason, and only for a short time, and never long enough for any of us to figure it out.
We don't want to smash anybody.
Here we are, in the midst of it, and people for years have been like, oh, if I only had a tape recorder, if I only had a way to capture this moment. Well, we do! It's happening! we do! I'm doing it for you, people! All those people! And but the thing is now this generation doesn't care.
I will talk to you.
So I'm holding out for you, 21, 42, or whatever. I mean, I still look at black and white pictures of people, and that's it, black and white. They're 150 years ago, so, 150 years,
Have you guys been skiing today?
So, back to the baby. We ended up, a funny thing, in the room 2111. And so, and the band Rush, I guess I'm just on an island here. They did this beautiful concept album called 2112, and so those of us who are Rush fans, and we're right all along about what great music is. We'll see the irony in that, and that was their hope too. Oh, maybe, you'd think, will people listen to our music in 2112? We're not even that far away from 2112 now, man. So. 22, 42, I don't know. Just, why not? Let this be the black and white photo of this era. Product of the 60s. It's got to be something. Our humanity is just waking up. It's just playing with its weenie. And eyes are just starting to open up, and we're just starting to go, oh, maybe if we, just use silk tape to tape tubes to our breast, we'll get better results. No, wrong side of history there, but somehow we'll make it through. Look at all these people. They were all babies. All of them have no reason to not have learned what a fallopian tube is. It's a quiet lift ride sometimes. Speak when you're spoken to sort of thing. Or they don't even, I'm just some guy that's wearing yellow. They don't know until my radio starts making noise. But these folks know. We talked a little bit in the beginning. But I just want to keep telling you about baby. It's once they turn you loose after 4 days, and one of the nurses have been around since 68. She probably delivered me. Seriously. Because there was so much irony in that room. She's the one who slipped us the binky. Good luck out there. It's a cruel world. Now, because of the way that baby was delivered via C-section, she's recovering from abdominal surgery. And they slice your muscles and stuff. So you have to recover. It takes years to completely. And so those first several days are just blah and ma, and she's, a couple times I would come back home to get something, and all of the cutest little stuffed animals and things are all just waiting in her crib, and they have all this look. All of them have this look. This really cute, we're here to do whatever for you, baby. And so we put her in her car seat, and we brought her home. Be the best. You want to be the master parent with all of the right.
This is going to be a gas transport. Good with the gear I have.
Just skills and upbringing and paper and genealogy to just do this thing. And at first, I guess it is, but nature has you set on a crash course out of the gate. And not the least of which is that baby moves around because mom goes to sleep at a certain time. As soon as mom goes to sleep, that's when, from the last 9 months, that's when baby party.
Space Patrol, bro.
We don't know, we're sleeping. So that's something they didn't talk about in the class.
For your transport.
So if there were only some way that we could, in the moment, talk and tell other humans about struggles they might face so they can spend their time on other things. Little League Baseball.
Oh, okay, cool.
Very good.
In the old days, computers, instead of hard drives, they would roll their memories off to tape.
You're right.
You see the old pictures of old computers, and there's reel-to-reel tape as part of the picture. It looks really kind of, sci-fi and funny. But that's what's happening. And then, if you want to restore that memory to the computer, you have to roll the whole tape back, and you can't screw that up. There can't be missing little blips and blobs. Otherwise, it's not going to play back your program right. Well, we can only imagine that someday, somehow, somebody's going to figure out some way that you can just sort of, preserve to the best of our ability, a person, or maybe digitally transplant all of everything, and then have that person that lives, presumably forever, eternal life sort of concept. When in fact we have this technology to some degree now that we haven't had it before, and it's this, ability to, just carry audio or record audio, video, whatever, on the fly, whenever we want to, and it comes out reasonably good enough quality that we can, so yeah, somebody could presumably record their entire life, make comments, do all that stuff, and you would have a close facsimile to what people, I'm saying their whole life. Oh, so we're getting off the lift now. Right, so from day one, you record every single moment, or if somebody, and then when they get older, maybe in their 80s or 90s, they've got to the point where they're going into super big detail about, everything. Well, who's going to have enough time to spend their whole life watching someone else's life that unfolds in real time? But theoretically, then you would have this sort of, you want to know who your great-grandfather was? Well, you want to know who, depending on how long you're, hey, this is one of your kin from...
Yeah, that's I heard. Yep.
Who knows? 3072. Maybe this will go all the way to 3072, and there's a... This is my shot.
We are starting to patrol.
On this earth, that's it. I somehow got it as this tiny sperm. I don't remember, and then I got it, and here I am, and I'm in the midst of it. I'm like playing a song. I'm the guitarist, and this is my solo part. And I don't want to screw this up. I want to have everything documented. And it's been crazy. I completely built the front stairs. I've written at least 5 songs. Museum quality, the entire house, yard, dogs. So that is the most heartbreaking thing to me, is that I'm not a young little buckaroo anymore, having a child in a few days. I'm a near 50-year-old person starting over again, and have been, tainted, jaded by the world, and have these things that, if only I had known, and, And so there's this drive, because I also know that because of my older, age, that I'm not going to be the same kind of father. I'm not going to be, when she's in her 50s, hey, that would make me 100. We're 50 years apart. So it breaks my heart. I'm trying to be I've been through this, so I'm not as weepy about it, but it used to be that I couldn't even get the sentence out because it breaks my heart so much that I'll just never know my kids like a normal parent would, ever. It's gone. It won't happen. So this is me trying to sort of reclaim that, make amends for that, even though I'm not necessarily completely at fault for this. But there are things that I won't ever be adult enough. She won't even want to. What kid is going to want to sit here and listen to their parent going on and on and on about until they're at least 40, and they're like, or until they lose, then they're going to get like into the first 13 minutes of this. Do you see what I mean? I mean, that first 7 minutes. Are you kidding me? You want me to do something here? We'll just start dumping everything now?
Alright, so why am I doing this? Why am I recording? Well, it's daddy-daughter day. How, for somebody, that patroller had her daddy-daughter.
Probably mommy-daughter.
And we're expecting our daughter, Anna Grace, in 13 weeks.
See, so that's the power of this project, is that's the reason. There's sort of this built-in sadness that I'm not going to get to be, See, so yeah, neither of my takes on this work. When she's 50 or my age,
You feel good about your zone?
she won't have me. So it's hard. I get choked up. I can't even talk.
Thank you.
So I could tell you now, we're days away. She's going to be here any day. And I'm doing this and I feel better that I know that I've done it. A lot of it's in the can now, so I really don't feel this bad. I know that there's something that if I get hit by a truck or something like that, that I know I've said something, and I've made some record of, the decisions, my edit decision list, the things, for better or for worse now, as we were carrying Anna, we said, through all these stages of disappointment, and we went through so many, we had a lot of loss, and it was the best I could ever come up with to tell my wife was, these are steps along the way to,
Me and quitting time.
our baby.
Dispatch Central. Dispatch.
Never gonna leave. Guy dropped his pole on this beautiful powder run.
Hopefully I can get this down to him. Skiing shouldn't be hard. Very welcome. Groomer's choice, huh? Whoa.
Yeah, it didn't take me long before I went and skied. Quitting time. It's probably just beautiful, and it is. It's beautiful. But it's way off the beaten path, and it's going to be a long, quiet lift ride back home. Lots to talk about.
on the way to the town with these houses. You could ski right up to them. Who lives
Town
here?
Patrol, James.
Who are you people?
Town Patrol. Town Patrol, James. Can we get someone headed up towards the bottom of Sunnyside with a snowmobile?
It's been, what, 2 weeks since she was born? But as hard as you try, and those cute little faces on those animals, they're just going to be disappointed that first night. Because there's just, you're on the crash course, and and we decided that there was just going to be a period of time when my wife takes her sleeping pills and rests and sleeps, but wouldn't get her the chemistry of that into her breast milk, and then it gets confusing. And that period I would also feed. Well, we got to a point where we just weren't producing milk, and because we were pumping it, we knew we weren't producing milk, and baby was getting super, super hungry all the time, and it just didn't seem like in the breastfeeding process you can't see it happening, so you just guess she's getting all the nutrients, but she was not very happy. And I think that there's all those perfect storm things start to happen, and my wife, I can't speak for her, but I know that there's some insecurity that starts to happen, and she reveals at some point that her mom had a problem with her as a baby, and it was that they failure to thrive was what they called it back then. What could that be? Just some mother, well, I'm feeding her, I know, I'm just feeding her, and I can't tell you why or what, and I can't even tell anybody, and you'll know now because you'll hear this, but I just, that image of my wife being that baby, and then this baby, and just the whole history, just the way I am about history repeating itself and our ancestors, and not being an alcoholic like my father, and, not having a baby that is struggling to survive. I got super frustrated. One, nobody would listen to me. Nobody was like, well, the hospital told us no formula, so it got super frustrating. And I had to just draw the line and say, I'm going to the store and I'm getting formula. Get online, and there's the mom groups against it and all this stuff. Guys, as long as there has been humankind, there has been bottles, formula of some kind, and something for babies to suck on when mom sleeps. But these tree-hugging people these days want you to believe just during this particular part of our existence, we're just gonna make it rough on these kids, and they're gonna just have to do it with these contraptions if they're gonna do it at all. To convince her parents of this phenomenon, she is now staying at her parents' house. this is good. She's happy. I'm happy. Her parents, no, not so much, because they're starting to realize, wow, this is a problem. We're going to need more formula. Starving baby. I was so upset. And I'm still, nobody has acknowledged it. The lactation specialist at the visit, who ran across the doctor's office like, I heard your baby. That's a really hungry baby. And, you know, so we're on the path to recovery, but it's been a real blow to the mom and the baby and and I hear you, other side. I hear you. The breastfeeding and the immune system, I hear you.
Pretty
We're
good.
going to talk about that.
How are you?
Where's the time?
Thanks, sir.
Sometimes if we don't see you all down here, like you're lost.
I know.
Take a left when you should take a right.
No.
I don't know what the hell he just said.
Come checking things out. Looking
See,
good.
we just play roles in each other's lives. He's doing the whole, we don't see you around
how
here
are you
much, because
today?
that's his role. He's out in the boonies.
No more storm. I love it. We're back. Beautiful, huh?
Now when I go home.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard maybe, huh?
I've heard maybe, huh? He said, I want to go home. And I said, yeah, I've heard maybe, huh? Like all of us. Whoops. Sorry. I didn't mean that. I just, you know, that's odd for someone say that to me. At a ski resort?
Oh, it used to be such a small town. Now there's a crane over the top, building some big building. Used to be a little tiny small town. And this lift runs along the lines where they must have had some kind of mining. Oh, the ore coming out of the mountain. These aerial ski lifts. Oh, they're so close. The whole idea of ski lifts, taking stuff off the mountain instead of putting stuff on. I love these beautiful modern houses right on the slope side. Beautiful windows that face out to the town. Inside the houses. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 3, maybe 4 levels of a crow nest, making it 5th level. Who knows? Maybe they just rented out.
I mean, the truth is that really all I know about my presumed son, Jeffrey, is what I got from some helmet recording, audio, video of him touring on a bike, you know, dangerously down some mountainside, and getting a sense of this person. And it was, you know, there was some connection there for me anyway. As alternatives to sort of the model where we're all supposed to spend a lot of time with each other and get to know each other, but you know, we're just not there. And it just that time is gone. It won't ever come back. So many things sort of converging here in terms of this idea. You know, anybody could just go and listen to this and, you know, they can decide for themselves what kind of person I am, because this is all the person that I am. I can't, you know, I'm on, you know, for the resort, and I'm a little branded, and you know, I'm not always this, you know, sort of perky. And I'm sure some people do get confused about some things. You know, why would this, you know, about a joke, and I think, you know, I still think it had something to do with Sandy. He had nothing else to say, and they needed something, and so he's like, I think he's good, because I've probably confused Sandy a few times when we start talking about, you know, the universe and stuff, and you know, what do I know? Stephen Hawking died today. It's kind of sad. Should mention that. So, you know, and Lucas, my second assumed born son, until DNA testing reveals otherwise someday, has, you know, disowned me for the time being. So, you know, maybe he'll... But today the whole point was, if
by or anybody wanted to come ski with me today and encounter whatever I encounter, so I'm just gonna stay rolling on it and see what happens. That might be really boring to somebody, but hey, we've already had some real good activity. You can hear we're still doing avalanche blasting on the hill, and they call fire in the hole, or you know, I don't know if you can feel these concussion blasts. They're really pretty big. And I grabbed this town lift ride so that I could sort of set the record straight. This is a notoriously slow, long, lonesome lift, as it is today. I don't see...
Lonesome.
I'm on chair 227. And I look up the line, I just don't think I see anybody. And there is maybe one person behind me, so that's alright.
In 237. It's me. It's me.
So,
In a voiceover booth.
It's just that.
No.
Now, yeah, do I think daddy-daughter? I think, oh, wouldn't that be great if my daughter could someday, you know, when I'm not around, because I know I'm not going to be around for her whole life, I guess, if everything goes the way it's supposed, you know, the way life goes. It'd be a heartbreak, let me tell you. If it were anything different.
You're doing it.
And I don't know how long that's going to be. Nobody does.
Hang in there, sport. Okay.
I don't have a lot of, you know, my dad
Hang in there,
talking,
sport.
just talking. He was on, you know, when he was talking. I guess I'm kind of on when I'm talking now, but... And I just have pictures of his dad. And I just have a picture of his dad. And the rest is just, you know, paperwork that goes all the way back. In some cases, in that line, just the berries to somebody named Barry in 20, I think. Plymouth Rock. Boom. Came over with the Mayflower, I guess. There's other ones that go back further. I'm gonna turn the radio back on.
Whoops.
10-4, James Hoffman. I'm at the bottom of Sunny Side.
You can tell he's kind of in charge of everything. I guess. We don't know. It kind of bugs him because we don't know who the boss is. We just, treat them all with the same respect.
Hey, James Hoffman.
Well, that's all for now.
I mean, not really. It was the whole point of this lift ride, I think. So, yeah. So we've got this whole idea that we're clearing up.
Hello. Happy birthday, if it should happen on the way.
It looked like it was going to take a long, long time to be on this lift. He was going the other way. Again, just trying to be funny. So now we've got this narrator who's crying about Stephen Hawking. I've got this guy on the lift. He's not performing, not showing up. He should be. He got on this lift to do your part, dude. Not doing it. Got all mushed up.
Oh, no.
Maybe we should add a low drone here and maybe it'll... Yeah. Now.
This guy with his red skis and red pants and skiing around with his coffee.
Lyrical. I like it.
This guy's just going to tuck down the hill. He's just a little boy, so he'll bounce. He's doing like, who knows. Well, I think this guy's like videotaping something. He's wearing way too much green. Here comes another kid who's going to do as fast as he can go. Oh. These kids look like aliens. They're super skinny, and then they've got these little balls on their head for their helmets. And they have these fluorescent colors, and blues and oranges and greens. Their skis are fluorescent. Poles are fluorescent. Everything's fluorescent. And they have these big knee pads on. Or not, they're big plastic shields for tech racing, because they... This just can't last. I swear they won't be doing this next year. They just like punch the gate. It's very strange. Oh my god, we're stopping again.
Time is just so strange when it stops, or when you have another 2 hours to go on your shift, or on your long drive, or... How long ago did that happen? Oh my gosh, how many times has 2 hours happened over and over and over again since I was on a road trip going, oh, these last 2 hours, I can't. When will they be over? They've been over, like, over and over and over again. And I thought, well, I'll always think of the ski lifts, because they just keep going around and around and around that thing. When I'm not there, when you're not there, I think right now they are too, for some other reason. They're just going up and they just keep going around. They're not keeping track of time. They're not worried about whether they're the top or the bottom or the middle. They're always, I'm just a ski chair, and what the hell does it matter? But we're always so worried about being, to the next, or getting through this, or blah, blah. Everything isn't fluid. It always has to be, we're in a hurry. We always have to be there sooner. If we could just be dead now, that'd be great. Is that I don't know. I don't do that. Sorry, those of you trying to hang on to those last few minutes. But it's like, it's backwards. Because we're just young little babies ourselves, I'm telling you. We're just barely working with 4K videography. And playing with our belly buttons and going, wow, this is...
I can see a guy just going into the trees. Just...
Pajama, pajama.
Where would the trees take us?
Pajama.
Base Patrol.
Contact Tuesday's gate for an ambulatory patient.
10-4.
I mean, who's keeping count? Is that, what, at least 5 people that are like, I don't have the courage or the strength to make it back to my car. I can't you go on without me. I can't. Just get me an Uber. Babies.
I'm stuck on the album today by Cake, Showroom of Compassion. I keep thinking of the song Teenage Pregnancy. And I don't know what this song is, but it's not what it is.
Right? Why? It's an instrumental. How did it get a teenager pregnant? It's just an instrumental.
Teenage Pregnancy, instrumental.
I mentioned that.
On that album.
And it's wonderful. Look it up. You have to.
I thought this could also be just a very entertaining podcast. Particularly these radio calls, but sometimes, as you can tell, you can get quiet on the radio. I think, oh, did I turn it off? Is it on? It's on.
This isn't the kind of show I want my Fruity Flakes to be associated with. No, sir. Fruity Flakes need to be an active show with zings and the zangs and the wing wang wall.
But let's recap. We've got Frost Nip Lady,
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was from a place that just don't have cold. Then we forgot to take my meds for 2 days going into, who knows what that could mean for somebody in her, you know, a Cymbalta.
She's fine.
Why wouldn't somebody take their meds?
She's fine
what's
now.
What's the point of not doing that?
It brings us out, makes us part of her story.
Cymbalta.
Oh, yeah, Cymbalta, they called me and want to offer me millions of dollars to continuously mention this story. Ah, my dream. I think people do that. I think people troll. MormonLeaks.com. But you want me to take it
Be
down.
like, yeah, I roll on my whole life. I'm always rolling.
Right?
Everybody has to just know that about me. I'm always rolling tape. So if your company doesn't like a guy who's always rolling tape, speaking of rolling, stop.
We'd like to hire you, but the whole idea of you carrying around a tape recorder all the time seems to be a bit intrusive. Don't you agree, Mr. Barry? Yes. So, what we've decided to do is go with another candidate who's a little bit more cooperative with corporate America and our ways. It's gotten so out of hand. Right? Feels like the top of the lift.
Well, I see the guy.
Oh, well, no. Something. Yeah, top of the lift. So this spills out at the Angle Station, opens up to that huge area that we've been talking about up all day long. The home run opens up that big, huge area at Angle Station. We met Jim here that couple episodes ago by the Angle Station. So, let's get back in. Let's get caught up. I wore my bracelet from the hospital. They make sure that you are not separated with all sorts of kinds of stuff. They stick a thing right on your... I don't know if it's RFID, but it certainly is a barcode. An actual barcode is glued to your baby these days because, you know, that's how the ancient Egyptians did it. And, you know, I'm sure people in 3042 are doing this barcode thing, too. Like, yeah, those guys, they had it right. 2000, with the barcode, yeah. They nailed it. Daddy-daughter day. But time has changed, and now there are, I just took the band off, and I don't have it around my, I wish I could put it on, but it was one of those permanent bands, and once you take it off, it is off. And that's why it was so hard to take it off, because it just, there's a phenomenon, too, that if you haven't, hey, you know what, I may be saving millions of people happening to have children. You know, because these are the best parts, and once I tell you about them, then I don't have to get. And you know, and that is, these are the best moments, whether we like them or not. I mean, they're so memorable. And the one is where you're like, oh yeah, that's right, this all happened, and it's like we're not disappointed in the blah. You'd think that would just but it does. You have to adjust to this whole entirely different new life, a new human being in it. And so I do everything. There's pictures of her every year. There's always something in front of me or nearby that reminds me, you know, you don't mean anything anymore. There's a child that depends on you to make this world a better place, so they can do the same. You know, in short, right? And so, good Lord. It got crazy real fast with the crying because she was so hungry. And the thing about the struggle when I talk about Jeffrey is that when his mom when he was in, you know, when she was pregnant with him, before she told me, I knew what she was into, and she was taking acid, LSD, baby, riding the pink dragon, or whatever that is, getting deep inside there. Nothing wrong with that. No, I'll trip for you someday. But, you know, I was concerned. I'm like, when she told me, you know, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby. I'm like, well, oh, first question, front row, what's the story on your acid use? And she got all kinds of nut job. You know, question 2, am I the father? Oh, my tornado. Tempest. Not sure we've really talked since.
Doesn't matter, down and clear.
It's hard to, it's not very fast though, huh?
2 questions you don't want to have to ask, you know, the mother of your, you know, possible, in that case, I guess, child. We don't know, right? But they were asked, and those were the last words. So, oh, that's scary. You never want to touch that hot stove again. You never, ever, right? Because there are these moments we have in life. It's like, oh, maybe if I would have, or if I could have just, then maybe, and then I'd be a millionaire. Or whatever, you know, or I wouldn't have lost the farm, or Grandpa would have lived another day if he hadn't, you know, eaten that Eggo waffle. Choked on an Eggo waffle?
Can I give a toboggan to the upper portion of Powder Monkey?
What's wrong with me now? I'm like self-righteous that I know first aid, but I am so embarrassed that what we teach we teach people how to bend sheet metal in school, but we're not teaching them anything about CPR or anything about life-saving techniques or.
Watching for people tucking a hill like this, guys. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Hey! No, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to slowly bump along behind this guy.
It is the guy. This is the job. Finally, here we go. You'd think I'd do this more often, and I do, but sometimes there are people who endanger the lives of others. They're just not being responsible, and they don't care about others. They don't care. This is their special time. This is their hill. They'll just do whatever the hell they want. Right? Have you been like that? Have you in your life somewhere, in your Porsche, or in your Speedo, or down at the gym, or whatever? It's, yeah, we do. We put the gas in the wrong places. We get self-important. I'm trying to stop him. Hey, you, stop. He doesn't. He looks at me like, I'm not stopping. So we're escalating. Okay, no, I mean, now he's, all right, okay, you can out-ski me, all right, maybe, yeah, all right.
I apologize, I don't mean to interrupt your day, and we're here on the mountain today to talk with people just about this area. Okay. It's a slow zone up and down the mountain, and so when I saw you tucking through it, I was like, okay, he probably isn't from here, I just need to come and make sure you understood that just in that area, the slow zone area, because it's a shared area and there's just people who are just not having.
No, I saw you slowing down because I didn't see it, and then I saw you go like that. That's why I slowed down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine. I got to take a quick picture pass and then we'll be done. That's all. Are you with the group here today? Oh, okay.
No, I'm a local.
I just have to take a quick picture of your pass
Wow.
if you can.
That was smooth.
It
That
just
was
is a
textbook.
document that we had a discussion.
I should send that in to Vail. Because it doesn't have to be, hey man, you're bad for humanity, man.
Beach 5 is open.
You're part of the problem. You're harping my buzz. Ooh.
Thanks for your. No, you just nice. Appreciate that. Thank you. Anything we can ever do for you, let us know.
Let us see part of his movie too. Gosh, what a nice guy. His Jedi mind trick. He's probably thinking, my Jedi mind trick, it worked. My pass has not been pulled, and he said thank you. He was nice. He pulled over, but listen, if it would have been, hey man, I was trying to pull you over, didn't pull you over. I was banging on my poles. I was doing all this stuff. I just stacked stuff against them. So that it's no longer about the speed or about anything. It's about what this thing is about in the first place. And it's like, open your damn eyes.
It's like I thought.
We have a limited time on this planet.
Just like one of the streets.
And don't mess that up.
No, I gotta
When people are pursuing
but it wasn't.
happiness.
It was like a guy. Just some guy. Never know. And don't run.
If it sticks, if that message sticks, and he does realize that, wow, you
I mean, the
know,
dude, he ran. He
Yeah.
ran.
he knew it. He knew that he started to fight it and was evasive and was like, I'm gonna outski this guy and blah. And it's like, no, where are you gonna go? They think it through. This is not Starsky and Hutch, man. We're both gonna end up at the bottom. Starsky and Hutch. I'm sorry, you don't. I meant Crockett, Tubbs, McGarrett, and Dano, Barney and Andy.
Barney and Fred. Hey, Fred. Why aren't we a cop to him?
Barney. Because I would be the do and you would be the O.
It's a test of sociology. And they don't have to know who I am to do it. I'm totally missing out. Free hot cocoa. Yeah, sometimes people just don't want to ride with me on the chair lift, and that's fine. We should have it that way. That is just fine. Alright, well, you know, for those of you who are just like, what the hell happened there? I'm sitting in front of a map here, and you know, there's this area called Home Run. It's green, it's simple, but it's also sort of the funnel, bottom of the funnel of the whole resort. So everybody has to go through this area. So it's super slow, keeping people from being crazy in this area. And, you know, and I look up the hill and generally see people obeying the rules. But in this case, I looked up the hill and I saw this guy coming down like a speedball. He was tucking down a hill that's considered a slow zone. And there's people that are just not ready for this 200-pound guy who's doing, you know, I don't know, 35, 40 miles an hour. Let me do the math. I don't know, that's a lot. If it hits you, if he hits the wall, I don't know how much that is. I knew I needed to talk to him. But no, he's already crossed the threshold. So I was actually waving at him. You know, say, stop. And he didn't. He decided that was not going to be what he was going to do. Which is just fine. There's more hill left and we can keep this exciting. So we bumped along next to him. Don't want to, cause him to get too crazy. And I don't want to crash into anybody either while I'm like gently pursuing this guy. And then when I finally did catch up to him, it was like kind of that bottom part, where there's this bank of slow signs. So it's like, you need to slow it down here. And he knew I was right there and he was going to base it. So then we had, we're having our talk. Okay, now I had to slide in there a little bit in front of him so he didn't start going downhill at this point because he started looking like he thought he could run again. I realized it's a guy. It's not one of the snowboarders or one of the freestyle kids that I love so much that I was afraid I was going to have to talk to. Because see, they know the rules. This dude, he does not. He's not one of those freestyle kids at all. Masquerading around in their garb. What else?
We could have Felix just at flat iron.
The bottom line is that a lot of patrollers will have that same experience, but they will, begin their encounter with the guest from a shouting match, and they'll be screaming, "Hey man, hey man!" And they've got the right to be yelling at them, kind of, egregiousness. And so when they do finally get the person to stop, then the yelling gets even more sort of escalated or sort of pointed, and it's like all of a sudden there's this guest that's like, got the Bob Marley going, and they're skiing along, and they just aren't accustomed to thinking about other people in their world, and it's clear. And so they're
pretty much gone now.
Shattered.
The sun's coming out. It's the first time I've seen the sun now. I mean, full sun with blue sky behind it, and these big, giant walls of cloud are just, they're retreating. They're literally retreating. I mean, I don't think literally. I don't think that there's some sort of literature behind all of this. But that's what we say these days. There's a new meaning for literally. It's because of these last few years and how people misuse the word to just turn it into meaning it's actually happening in front of me. It's beautiful.
All right. Well, anyway, you're not really supposed to end a show on word usage tips.
Angelic choir.
But we've had a great third hour, and what's most exciting is I think we're going to have a fourth. Somebody, cue the music! And I'm not going to lie, we accomplished absolutely nothing in episode 3. Just, we may have moved the needle a little bit, right? But, you're still like, well, I thought you guys were separated, and why again is mom when's mom coming home? When's the baby? When can we see the baby? Are you just some kind of weird... maybe you don't care about it. Maybe you want to just keep skiing. Maybe let's pull more people over next time. It could happen. It could really happen. Until then, you just be safe out there.